guys, I want to talk about looks and training. Subject kind of goes hand in hand. A lot of people have most of their emphasis on aesthetics, more so than health or the value of training, exercising, if you will. At Bailey's Personal Training, I try to deliberately switch the thinking of people who come and train to focus more on fitness versus look. In our society, America as well as the world, those who are most lean, those who are, for lack of a better term, most aesthetic, seem to be more valued than those who are most fit. There are some regards or some ways that that's changing with CrossFit and an array of different types of training, high intensity interval training. There's a lot of these mud races and long distance endurance races where fitness is the forefront in becoming more important and more gravitated towards, I would say. But for the vast majority of people, it is not the most sought after ideal. You could be extremely fit and not really be noticed if you don't have the look that one thinks they should have or others think that they should have. Personally, through all the studying that I've done in the last 7 years on fitness, numerous studies have shown that if you are fit, fit as in according to fit standards, which there's multiple fit standards, but it all pretty much coincide across the board, according to all the studies and PhDs and exercise physiologists, exercise scientists. There are pillars and there are standards that are set, that are definitive, that if you meet those standards, you have a greater propensity of living longer, living more healthy, having a much better life, if you will, as far as less ailments, less sicknesses, less disease, regardless of how you look. The same could not be said about people who only exercise to have a certain look. Not knocking that at all, because one of the benefits of exercise is looking better, but not necessarily looking like her or him as far as leanness, things of that nature, or as far as being able to bench 400 pounds or being able to run a 4-minute mile. If you can do those things and have a really genuinely slender, hard physique, that's wonderful, but there's a lot of other factors that play into that. Let's not neglect that the majority of society and world will not attain 7, 10, 12% body fat. It's very difficult to do genetically, environmentally, socially, and just the daily regimen of eating and how to get to that is very difficult. So let's keep the focus on making sure that we're trying to attain the best flexibility, muscular endurance, stamina, strength, power, speed, agility, all the genres that's going to make our lives better as we age, to keep us either maintained, which means not degressing, or progressing and doing even better and excelling to a limit or a level that allows us to be very fit or athletic, if you will, regardless of the look. If you are fit, it is proven that your life will be longer. In most instances, take away accidental death and things of that nature, your life, or some chronic disease, or some disease, I'm sorry, not chronic, but some disease that's unforeseen, cancer, things of that nature, that could potentially happen. But the vast majority of people who are fit, who exercise daily, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, religiously, who eat a fairly good diet, regardless if they have a little bit of spare tire, or if they're not substantially lean, or they can't do a 26-mile marathon, they still, in most instances, are going to live longer than somebody who's sedentary, or somebody that's even very active and is super lean, probably isn't going to live much longer, according to studies, than the people who aren't superiorly lean. It's proven that body fat plays a role to a certain degree, but it's not much. Somebody that's 7% or 10% does not have a greater chance of living 10 or 15 years longer than me, who has 18, 19% body fat. Truth is, your heart and all the systems work well when they are worked daily. There's emphasis placed upon them with frequency, how often you work out, the intensity, the duration, how long, the mode and types of exercises you're doing play a much more critical role consistency being the biggest one, much more critical role than body fat percent or weight in pounds, how much you weigh. Once again, there are so many different types of body types. There's so many different ways to train. The whole issue and the whole point of exercise is to take in the oxygen to make your body more able and ready for daily routines, daily programs, daily activities, as well as the extracurricular activities. If you go to play tennis, if you want to play basketball once in a while, if you want to run a little bit, if you want to just be alive and do vitality type of movements and things of that nature for an extended period of time, meaning 10, when you're 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond, then you need to exercise for that. More so than you need to exercise to be a size 3 or for guys to bench press 400 or 500 pounds. Now, I'm not saying don't have goals, don't have things that you want to achieve, because those things will make you better. They will make you prosper. They will make you more efficient as a human being, mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's good. But if your prize or your eye is only on aesthetics, you're neglecting the human body as a whole. Again, those people who are very lean, those people who are magnified and gravitated towards making their image a particular way, kudos to them. I mean, that really is not easy. But usually, it's a profession to look that way, okay? It is not a profession to be fit in most instances, unless you talk about CrossFit or professional baseball or professional basketball or football. And even then, you'll see 20 or 30% of those professional athletes that don't have the body of a professional athlete, because the adherence to the diet, the adherence to the sleep regimen, the adherence to the social networks needing to be correct for you to do that is very rare. Not impossible, but very rare. If you want to achieve that impossibility or that rarity, then you have to put yourself in that category, which means you probably are going to neglect some other things, which that's a whole other subject, but you could say that by neglecting other things, you're taking away from the advantageousness of your life in other ways, whether it be your marriage, your relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, your pastoralship, your schooling, your college, whatever it may be, your work, your job. You're probably going to have to remove some propensities towards that, and then again, you create a whole other issue. So I say stay in the realm of normalcy, hour or two a day, whatever's normal for you. That's not going to neglect anything. It's not going to cause you more of a challenge in other areas of your life, but you're going to be balanced. You're going to get the benefits of long-term exercise, being that you're still going to be able to walk a few miles when you're 70, or kneel down and stand up, or if you choose to, play a game of basketball. All normal functions of your body will be sustained, if not improved, over the long course of adhering to a frequent, daily, preferably, exercise regimen that encompasses flexibility, endurance, stamina, all the pillars of fitness. Try your best to set small, incremental, common, sustainable goals. Not, I want a six-pack, but you've never in your life had a six-pack. Not since you were 10, and you ran around town all day long on a bicycle or on foot. You ate sporadically and sparingly, and you still didn't have a six-pack. Or I want to run a marathon, but you've never ran a mile in your life. You have to start out with small, incremental, very detailed, finite goals that are achievable. Okay, take those slow steps and see where it gets you before you have such an open mind towards a lofty goal, but you have not done the work in between to even come close to that goal. Start down here, make small, incremental steps to get to that goal. All right? Saying you want a six-pack isn't necessarily bad, but know what it takes to get it. Just saying it is so far from reality. Saying you want to bench press 400 pounds or squat 500 or run a 4-minute mile is a lofty goal, unless you've already done some things to start to achieve those goals, where you've seen a 5-minute mile, you've seen a 6-minute mile, or you've bench pressed 320 or 330 or 340. Then that goes closer. And also, you've put in the work that allows you to see what it takes to achieve that, versus reading a magazine or listening to what somebody else says, and you haven't done the groundwork of studying or putting information into your mind and body and actually doing it that allows you to make a positive or minus decision, plus or minus decision, that allows you to understand the protocol that it takes to get to that point, or the program. Otherwise, you're just throwing out ideals. You're not really using fact-based information that's going to let you understand that who you are is who you're supposed to be. Versus, well, they said I should be this percentage of body fat. I should do this. Well, they saying it has not told you about your genetics, about your work effort, about the amount of repetitions, the amount of days, the amount of hours, the amount of minutes that actually is going to go into that to make you be able to run a 4-minute mile or bench press 400 pounds. Or the diet that it takes to get somebody from 200 pounds with a 300-pound bench press to 250 with a 500-pound bench press. The amount of androgens that you need, the hormones, that have to go into your body, the sleep regimen, the food you have to eat is immense, okay? The program is precise, concise, and it takes a lot of diligence, a lot of time, a lot of effort. Focus on your fitness. Your body will adapt and change, and it will get better, it will get harder, it will get faster, it will get stronger. But don't, in the beginning of a workout or regimen or a program, or even in the middle, or even after 5 years of training, assume or insist that you should be a particular weight size standard when you have not done the work, the leg work, as far as studying, understanding truly what it takes to get there. All right? That's my advice here at Bailey's Personal Training. Focus on your fitness, not size 32 waist, whatever that might be, unless you are inherently in danger physically. Doctor says high cholesterol, high blood pressure, stress, insomnia, sleep apnea, diabetes. Well, of course, then you have to alter some dramatic points of your life. But for those of us who are healthy otherwise, who may be 5'7", 215-pound guy who's considered 35 pounds overweight, but this guy could run an 8-minute mile and do 50 push-ups, why are you striving to lose that weight? Why are you looking to take medications, ergogenic aids, diet pills, all these unnatural supplements to make you fit a standard that already says it's not necessary? Because you have proof that you're healthy. Why, for a woman, do you need to be a size 4 if you're a size 7, but you can run a 7-minute mile? You can do 2 pull-ups, 3 pull-ups. You can knock out 25 push-ups. You can squat your body weight fully with perfect form. What is the point of you getting down to that size 3? Who are you trying to impress? Who are you trying to benefit? Or what are you trying to benefit? Basically, you're falling into the standardized operation of society, allowing to tell you that your effort that you've put forth so far wasn't good enough. That's not true. It's a lie. Frankly, I've never been the standard. I've always been overweight. I've always been too big. I graduated high school at 230 pounds, 6'1.5". By no means was I a small man. I was bigger than most men older than me. I mean, the average height of a man is what, 5'9", 5'9.5", 190 pounds. I was well bigger than that, okay? I wasn't bigger than that because I ate too much. Genetically, I was supposed to be. Right now, I walk around at 272 pounds. Yeah, I might have a little bit of a belly, but I can certainly tell you I'm fitter than the vast majority of people on this earth. I can run just as far. I can jump just as far. I can do just as many pull-ups, if not more. 60-plus push-ups, bench well over 300 pounds. I'm fit. And I don't say that in a bragging attitude. I say that to make sure you guys have the point that you too are fit. Don't allow other people to tell you otherwise. Now, there is superiorly fit. There is fit. There's very good. There's good, and the levels continue to go down. I am not superiorly fit. I don't train down here solely to benefit myself, but I also help others train. Meaning, I have to watch my body. I can't afford injuries. So there's a program that we all have to balance. Okay? But don't look at somebody else's program and envy their program or envy their results if you're not willing to put the work in to get it. Otherwise, be satisfied with what you have. Be satisfied with what you're doing. Pat yourself on the back. Be happy with your results. Continue to train. Reach your absolute best, not their absolute best, your absolute best. For what all parameters of life is doing you have to lay that out in front of you and balance it. Everybody's life's a little bit different. Okay, guys? So be happy today, train tomorrow, live free, feel good, life's going to be good.